Another another good win for our program. It's nice to have a strong start to the season. It was nice to be home again, and timing for the bye week I think is good. It could be argued that we have momentum now, which we do, but we also have things to control in terms of our team, its readiness, areas to fix, get a little bit healthier, and then kind of relaunch the next phase of the season. So I like where we are.
You were a little critical of the defense after the game. Now that you've had a little time to reflect and maybe watch some film, what do you think?
Played really, really hard first. The execution part in critical moments is really what allowed Virginia to stay in the game. And so most of our work right now defensively is just mastering their assignments and execution, but man, they're playing really hard. And so I don't think I expressed that very well, and I love that part of over 106 plays, and man, they were flying around. Right now they're flying around, but not as masterful in what they're supposed to do.
You ever see so many third and longs get converted against you?
No, that game went on for a long time. But tracking the ball downfield, what's happening now is I think with the nature of our team this year, we'll be out in front. We can score points. Taysom is really effective, so we'll have to be protecting and trying to separate from our opponent, which means they're going to be throwing it more downfield with more opportunities, and so we can focus on that the next 2 weeks.
Does it bother you that you didn't blow out Houston and Virginia, or well, win's a win and that's good enough?
Win's a win. It is good enough as long as we get better.
Was it weird to have so few offensive plays compared to what you've been having?
It was. I watched the film afterwards, and it seemed like about a half. And our rotations were way off. The guys we planned on playing more, the substitution patterns were all messed up, and then we get ready to put them in, and there goes a kickoff return for a touchdown. And so the game was really backwards. Usually what the opponent runs in terms of number of plays and what we ran, and without the kick return, a fantastic punting day and a couple turnovers, man, that could have been different. Good news for us is it wasn't, and we forced those plays and made them.
Is it encouraging that you were able to score that much and be that efficient with fewer plays?
It is, especially considering how well their defense had been playing. I'm not sure that I expressed that very well, but their defense had been playing really well, and they were a formidable group, and we scored often, and we scored quickly, and we scored enough. Similar to the Houston game, I felt there was 2 or 3 times in the game where now the game is over and we're going to extend. But again, right now we need to get a little bit more pressure on the quarterback and play the ball downfield better to protect our leads.
So Taysom rolls out, keeps his eyes downfield, stays patient, stays behind the line, ends up throwing a long touchdown pass. Do you make him watch that like 1,000 times now?
2,000. Well, I've watched it a bunch of times. So every practice since day one of fall camp, we've worked scramble drill for basically the same reason. So we might have repped it already 1,000 times, and for it to pay off. That drill paying off, as well as our kick return, the emphasis we placed on that this week. I'm not sure we could have lost any more sleep over that or worked harder on it. And to have those 2 things pay off was a compliment to our staff.
You ever see a quarterback better at warding off or punishing tacklers like Taysom Hill does or is?
In the champions meeting today, the clips basically of Taysom weren't elusiveness, it was just how physical he is. And he's one of the most physical players on our team, whether at linebacker, defensive line, running back. It's fun to have an identity based around a really physical quarterback and durable.
Is that lack of a pass rush a concern that you mentioned before?
Really what's happening is 2 of the 4 quarterbacks that we've played so far are out. UConn's quarterback never came back, and this quarterback went out. So we're a half second, maybe not even that much late, but when we get there, we hit them hard. And so execution, I think, will get us there faster.
Update on Bronson and all?
No update. Other than there was no boot, no buggy, no wheels, no tape. He was walking around normal today, and we have 2 weeks. So, man, that could be good. Hopefully with Nick Kurtz as well, coming back for Utah State, as well as Algie Brown. So those 3 players back will be helpful.
Jordan Leslie, word on him?
High ankle sprain and supposed to be back.
A couple years ago, you told us that BYU would have to have a big year to set up a big year, that it would be a multi-year process to get where you want on the national stage. You've got a junior quarterback and you're 4-0. Is this kind of what you envisioned at some point?
Man, hopeful that it could happen, and still it's 4-0. It's not 10-0 yet or 11-0, and it's still basically a 1-game play-in week by week for us in the current system. Who knows? If if there is a team this year that's out of the Power 5 that wins them all, I don't know what will happen. It'll be fun to see. I'd like to be that team. Right now, it's bye week, then Utah State, and that's enough.
You said your feelings would be hurt if the or the prior game wasn't sold out, and I don't think it was. Were your feelings hurt?
No question they were hurt. It took my wife about 2 hours to console me when I got home. She actually had a fresh pot of chili, which, knowing Holly, she anticipated it, had a pot of chili ready, and so I'm okay now.
Do you have any reason why it's not selling out?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
How does your routine change on a bye week?
That's a great question. Not very much, actually. Holly has a few more chores for me at night, anticipating I'll be home earlier, which really doesn't happen. But the long weekend, we'll be doing something Saturday rather than being in LaVell Edwards Stadium. And that's the biggest change, is really what Saturday looks like.
Do you give guys some downtime and let them heal up, or because there are errors, there are blown assignments, do you go a little harder and worry about yourself and not worry so much about game prep?
It's more the second for this particular team. We'll practice hard Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday will be basically a Monday for Utah State. Then they'll have Saturday, Sunday off. And those 2 days, man, that should be enough, I think.
Is there a single factor that's keeping you awake at night about this team, a single concern or worry?
Managing outside influences is the biggest thing. Just for it to be week number 4 and to be working as hard as we are to try to just keep it in the moment with our team, with all of the, I think probably because of the playoff format and the attention of who might be in that, it's kind of elevated everything, and that we're somewhat considered after 4 games, which again is way premature. Just managing all that has been a lot so far.
Braden Kearsley wasn't available for you on the weekend. Is he still with you guys?
He
Good
is.
standing?
Yep, he's in
Yeah.
good standing, and he'll be back. He is back.
Okay.
How about Trenton Trammell? Is he still?
Trent Trammell is trying to battle his way up the depth chart, and so we have some corners that I really like right now. They didn't necessarily play the ball well on Saturday, but between Rob Daniel and Jordan Johnson and Jordan Prater and then Mike Davis, those are our top 4 corners as of now.